Check this.
Hey! Thanks for listening to New Season Gospel FM, your number one gospel station.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. ready. This reggae music keeps me grooving, makes me know something good is gonna happen. Well, listen up now. Something good, yeah. Something good, yeah. Something good is gonna happen. Well, listen up now. Whoa. Well, listen up now. I've got a message for the broken and depressed. Your life has been a ruin, everything has been a mess. Problems all over, man, and all you know is stress. How long have you waited for some peace and happiness? How long have you waited for the breakthrough? Patience, so bent have you seen the virtue? Get ready, this is what you're gonna do. A blessing from the Father, man, is right in store for you. It's reggae. Reggae keeps me grooving. It makes me know something good is gonna happen. Oh, something good, yeah. Something good, yeah. Something good is gonna happen. Something good. Play me and tell them for me.
Don't get confused, yeah, it's a good feeling. But I'm a Jesus in the music I'm referring to. I improvise the melodies to help you through the day. Rest in the frequencies to help you find your way. I know you love a good dose of reggae music. And when you're down, you got to eat for help you through things. But Jesus are the healer, the light in my way. That is the Jesus in the music that I'm talking.
Music, good gospel music. It makes me know something good is gonna happen. Oh yeah, oh something good, yeah.
Something good.
Something good.
Something good is gonna happen.
Ooh, Lord. And this is reggae, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm reggae without the dub.
When Jesus says nobody can say no. When Jesus says nobody can say no.
It is time for Yes with Yessie. Please welcome your host, Yesenia Leva.
When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. And we know something good is going to happen. Something good is going to happen. I love that song. I love reggae. I love gospel reggae. I can't help it. I love it. It's meaningful. I love the lyrics. It's life. I love it. So something good is going to happen, guys. So share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Let our family and friends know that we are on here on New Season Gospel FM. Yes with Yessie, here with you on October 3rd, first Thursday of the month. It's already October. It's going into fall, going into the end of the year, and it's been good. I think I continue to learn not to determine a good year, until it's over, until we're getting ready to start that new year, because something new is going to happen. New things are always happening, good things, awesome things, hard times, but at the end of that, of all of it, we're still here, right? We're still here. God is with us, and it's been awesome. So I want to encourage you to wait on God and the plan that He has for you, the opportunities, everything, to make your final decision as to whether or not you're having a good year, a good end of the year, and going into that next one. Sometimes we don't start all that great, but as we progress and we keep going and we're towards the finish line, it's like, it wasn't so bad after all. And as we often hear, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And that's my focus. It's not how I started the year. It's not how last year was. It's how I am finishing the year on that road of success and what I want to see for my life. So I hope that encourages you to just keep going, because something good is going to happen. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are listening from. I see you guys tuning in with me. I love it. Good evening, Brother Akil. Thank you for joining and always supporting Lauderhill TV. I see you. No, you're not the only one. Well, you are the first first one. I think you were the first one. So thank you so much for joining here on our New Season Gospel FM family, and everyone else listening across the board around the world. Good evening, good morning, buenas tardes, buenos días a todos los que nos estén escuchando en la comunidad latina. Samara, I know you're on. I don't see you yet, but I know you're on. I know you're listening. Good evening to you. And how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? It's been a good day. It's been a good day. It's been a productive day. And I like productive days. I love productive days. Productive days. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So share the broadcast, guys. Let others know that we are here. Help us to circulate the broadcast so that people will get the notification. A lot of things happening. It is October. It is Clergy Appreciation Month. It is so many things that are happening, that we're doing, that planning, work, all of it. It's a lot. It's a lot this time of year as we approach the end of the year, the holidays, Christmas, and then of course the new year. But it's all good. It's all good. And so today I want to talk to you guys just about, we always talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that, as it pertains to disability related everything. That is what Yes with Yessie is all about, is all things community, diversity, the inclusion of individuals with disabilities, the disability related topics and news that perhaps nobody talks about, right? Angela, hi, thank you for joining. The things that nobody talks about, I think that's my goal in life, right? to talk about the things that nobody talks about, the things that might be uncomfortable for people to talk about because they're not familiar with it. They're not educated on the topic in a sense. I think fear a lot of times comes from not knowing, from that lack of education. And so that's my goal, right? To help our community be just a little bit more educated on all things disability and the inclusion of individuals with disabilities. How do we include? How do we help each other and navigate this thing called life, living with differences? Again, I always gear myself towards disability because it's my world, right? It's what I do for a living. I feel like sometimes 24/7. I live it from personal experience every day. I work in disability services. I'm an entrepreneur for disability services. So my life pretty much revolves around all things disability. And so, which is great that I'm passionate about it, because otherwise I don't think I would be very happy, right? So that's what we're gonna focus on a little bit today, is topics that we don't talk about, or even better, topics that we don't hear about in mainstream media. All right, that just gives me goosebumps, because you put me in media and radio and all that stuff, and include disability related topics and all that good stuff. That's amazing for me. So we're going to talk about specifically, let's say, 5 disability related stories that journalists should be covering in media, but for one reason or another we're not including, as in many other cases, we're not including disability related topics in mainstream media. I always say, and I love them to death, I love Girl Scouts and I love Girl Scout cookies. I know of different Girl Scout groups, if you will, that include young women with or young girls with disabilities and young boys as well. So I love Girl Scouts and I love their cookies. But sometimes I feel like, sometimes we use a reference of all we see in media, or most of what we see in media is Girl Scout cookies, things like that, right? And that's to say that we should give more significance to impactful stories as it is, such as disability related topics, humanity, people, the things that we go through every single day. What better way to get the word out, the information, the resource than media? And whatever kind of media that is, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, like our station here, whether it's social media, newspapers, whatever it is. How awesome would it be if we continue to use our resources and our tools in media to spread light, spread word, bring awareness to different topics that so much, go under the rug and do not get enough attention. And so that's part of my mission, of course, with Yessie, is to talk to you guys about things that often you might not know about. Out of sight, out of mind. If you're not impacted by disability, or so you think you're not, you don't live with it, you don't know somebody that has any kind of disability, visible or not, then you're not really exposed to what we are exposed to. Right? And again, that goes for any kind of difference or situation that you might be living, not just from a physical, neurological, mental health perspective of disability. And so that's my hope, that we can translate those nuggets, those tips to you and to your specific need in your life, right? So hope that makes sense. In other words, it's for everyone, right? You don't have to know someone that knows somebody, that has any kind of disability. You just have to be open to learning and to receiving information, because if it's not you today, it could be you tomorrow, and it could be someone that you know. And hey, why not be ready, right? And so before we go into our topic today, which again is going to be about the 5 disability stories journalists should be covering from a global perspective, in my opinion, but I don't think that we are doing enough to do so. We're going to talk about what those topics are and tell you a little bit about what's going on in the world of the ADA law, or the Americans with Disabilities Act. So first, we're going to go ahead into a song before our topic, and I hope you like it and recognize it, because it's actually one of my favorites. They're all my favorites, but this one's a favorite. And in the meantime, please share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. Click that love button so others know that we're here. And make sure you subscribe to New Season Gospel FM and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a beat. Please share the broadcast.
Señor mi Dios, al contemplar los cielos, el firmamento y las estrellas, al oír tu voz, en los potentes terrenos y ver brillar el sol en su mi corazón entonará canción. Cuán grande es, cuán grande es, díselo a él, mi corazón entona la canción. Cuán grande es, cuán grande es. Oh Lord, my God, as I in awesome wonder consider all.
How great our God, how great our God. When we think about the mercies of God and how great God is and all the opportunities and all that he does in our lives, all we can do is say thank you. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness and how great our God. And so always with that attitude of gratitude, right? Attitude of gratitude. So as we go into our 5 disability stories that journalists should cover. Fun fact, okay? Fun fact. When I was a lot younger, when I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not that young anymore. When I was a lot younger, my career goal was journalism. And growing up in middle school, elementary school, middle school, going into high school, again, my goal was always to have a career in journalism, and I would be the first one to do the morning announcements and, delivering of the newspapers. I was a writer in the newspaper, editor even. I did a lot when it came to journalism. And I remember when I got my first internship in high school, I covered a story. I covered my first story with Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, a local children's hospital here, with Jeff Conine. Jeff Conine was a Florida Marlins baseball player. He retired already, but that was the coolest thing because that was like my first story, the whole reporter thing, going into the baseball stadium, the baseball stadium. So journalism has always been a thing. So I'm passionate about using journalism, our voice, to let these stories be known and let it be known what we need, right? For what we need from society and our leaders and our governments and all of that to make a difference, right? So when we talk about those 5 things, those 5 disability related stories that journalism or journalists should be covering and they're not, the very first one on the list is Disability Inclusion Month. And as a matter of fact, we just are going into the month of Disability Inclusion Month. And I've talked about it before, why do we still have awareness days? Because we're not talking about it enough, because it's not enough conversation, because it's not mainstreamed, because a lot of people still don't know. And if you still don't know, that's why the awareness is still taking place. So the first one is Disability Inclusion Month. And it's important to note that it's not inspiration, right? It's not inspiration, but resilience, beauty and human diversity, and the notion that disability or the lives of people with disabilities are equally of value than the lives of everybody else, right? A person's life is not any less valuable because we live with a disability, just like the next person that does not have a noticeable disability, because you can have a disability and have no idea that you do, right? But everyone's life is just as valuable, it's just as important, it's just as worthy as living. So it's kind of like crazy, right, that we have to say that disability inclusion is important, it matters. And the reason I think for me that it's so big is because so many times we are excluded. I say we because I can relate to it. So many times we are excluded and we're told that we can't or we won't do something or we don't belong somewhere. Oh, you have a disability, you don't belong here. Like those are real things that people say, like for real, right? They really say those things to you. And so it's kind of like sometimes we find ourselves in a situation, in a moment where you kind of have to convince somebody like myself, like, hey, you belong here. You belong at work. You belong in church. You belong, in a home, in your own home, and not in a nursing home. You belong. And so, it's until we don't have to convince each other or others of that anymore that we have really embraced the inclusion aspect of everybody matters in society, just like everybody else. The next one is, so again, we're talking about stories that should be highlighted in the news and mainstream media for everybody to know that it's not, or that are not covered. And if they are, it's not covered enough and you guys can tell me at the end if you guys have seen any of these stories being covered in mainstream media at any point, or how often have you seen it? Because it's there. I called it like a peekaboo, right? Because it's like, oh, I see you. But again, not enough. The second highest story that should be covered by media, but we don't feel as it is the child care crisis. The child care crisis. Why is the child care crisis? Because specifically as it pertains to children of that age with disabilities, most child cares, most most mainstream childcare service providers do not accept our kids, our babies and young kids with disabilities. It's semi understandable because the kids have higher needs. They have higher needs. They have more severe disabilities. They need more one-to-one. They might need a nurse. They might need a caregiver. They might have tubing. They might need changing. So many things that a regular child care might not have the ability or the resources to do. No problem. I get it to a point. But what are we doing to ensure that our child cares do have the accessibility, the resources, the materials needed to include all of our kids? Or what are we doing to create more spaces that those babies, children, can go to? Because what happens is, because there's not enough child care service providers for individuals, babies specifically with disabilities, then that means that the parent has to stay home. One of the parents has to stay home. They can't go to work. And then that household now becomes a one-income household, making it hard for that family to survive even, and to make it in a economy that is constantly getting more and more expensive. And not only that, but they have to also, be mindful of the expenses that their child has when it comes to their medical expenses, the having to pay somebody extra to take care of them, their medical bills, their medications, their therapies, because insurance unfortunately doesn't cover the therapy because the parents make too much money. So many obstacles that exist to then be like, okay, I have all these obstacles, I have all of these things to take care of, and I have nowhere to leave my child. And to add a little bit more, I have nowhere to leave my child with someone I trust, because let me tell you, there are horror stories out there of the mistreatment of children with disabilities in different places, children in general, but in this case, children with disabilities and super young babies that we're like, wow, like where's your heart? Like, why would you do this, right? So that's very important, a very high need. And being a devil's advocate, one of the reasons that it's so minimal is because, of course, it's expensive. Of course, the insurance and the liability is insanely super high and very expensive. But I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that's an excuse. If we found ways to work together to provide the financial freedom necessary to provide these safe spaces for the people that need it most, and in turn, allowing parents to be able to go to work, to be able to provide for their families without the fear of, losing the little that they already have, right? Because they can't work, because now they're a one home or one household income, or because they, they're losing the insurance. That was a big one when the pandemic happened. Excuse me. When the pandemic happened, a lot of people, got Medicaid. And then now the pandemic went away. A lot of people are losing their Medicaid. And those that use the Medicaid to pay for the childcare places, which are called PPECs, that are available, they're no longer able to do so because their child lost the Medicaid due to the fact that now we're no longer in the pandemic, and they don't qualify anymore, right? Which is... I don't understand it. It's bonkers to me how you can just revoke someone's services like from one day to the next with no announcement, with no, no previous notice, no letter, nothing. It's just gone. It's gone, and so now it's even worse. I have to work to provide for my family. I can't work because my child no longer has insurance. Therefore, no services. Therefore, no place to leave them during the day. No child care. So literally, what are we supposed to do? What are these families supposed to do? And I share this with you so that you're aware, again, awareness, right? You're aware of the difficulties that families with disabilities face every single day. Just because you see families out there with, children with disabilities, or even people like myself with a disability out there, and you might say, oh, well, they're always happy and cheery and smiling, doesn't mean it doesn't get hard. It doesn't mean that, we don't have worries of maybe, where's my child going to be tomorrow? Or, where's my next meal going to come from? Or, what if I have an emergency? Like, that's one of my fears, if you will. If I was to lose my health insurance and the next day I get sick, what am I supposed to do? Or if I work and I make too much money and I lose my medical benefits, what am I supposed to do? God is good and I'm healthy and I haven't gotten sick for a really long time and I don't plan to do so. But let's just say, God forbid, something happens. What would I do if I didn't have the insurance? So, but why should I live with the what ifs? Because I want to be successful and I want to work and I'm an entrepreneur and I do all of these things. Even with that slight, tiny, teeny thought in the back of my mind, like, Jesse, if you keep at this and when you make it, because I'm going to make it, and when you start making those big bucks, like, you're going to lose your benefits, girl. Then what are you going to do? So that is something that I live with every single day. The only difference is I'm not letting that stop me. It's kind of like I go back to one of my favorite quotes, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what I'm doing, because I know that at the end of the day, God will provide. God will make a way. He does it every single day for me, and I believe he will always. And so that is to tell you, just some of the real issues that we live with every single day, some of the real fears that we live with every single day. And it's hard. It's hard. So when you see parents out there with young children with severe disabilities, and it's not easy. And it's not fair to say, oh, well, they get everything because the government probably helps them. No, that's not always the case. So we should never underestimate the need. We should never underestimate the power of a hey, how are you? How's it going? Do you need anything? And never overestimate the fact that you might think, well, we live in the United States. I'm pretty sure they get everything from the government. Like, that's not a fair statement either. So it's a lot. It's a lot that we have to conquer, divide and conquer every single day. And yes, those are different things that are important to discuss. And we can just pick like one of these and talk about it all day because there's so many routes to just one of the particular topics. So we've talked about the Disability Inclusion Month and what that entails. We've talked about the child care crisis just a little bit, which are also called PPECs for the young children. And again, the parents are forced to sacrifice their careers, losing income and opportunities. Yeah, and then we go into elections, the political stuff, right? Fancy, the fancy stuff, the political stuff, election 2024. I think it's important to know your candidates, who you're voting for, study them, visit them, make appointments with them if possible. October being Disability Awareness Month, I can tell you that there's a lot of people with disabilities in Tallahassee making some noise because we need change. We need our voices heard. We need our people in place, our political leaders, not to just use a platform of a topic related to disability just for their platform, and then they make it in and then it's gone. We never talk about it again. That's not good enough. If you're going to be in the political world, you're going to, quote unquote, use the disability for the benefit of your platform, then you better do something about whatever that part of disability is that you're, using for your platform. And it could be housing reform. That's a huge, huge need. Housing reform, a reform in the benefits. Who is working to better the processes for disability, for Social Security disability, the communication, the thousands of people that are still waiting to be provided with benefits that they've either earned because they've worked and earned it, or because, listen, I was born like this way. I have medical issues. I cannot work and I need these benefits to survive. Literally, like, who is holding these people accountable for the community to get these services? Right? It's so many things. So accountability, definitely accountability is a big one when it comes to election, when it comes to our candidates, to be held accountable to follow through with whatever it is that they said that they would do as it pertains to the disability issues that make a humongous impact on the quality of life of the very people that put in their votes, by the way. Right. So, very big deal. Very, very big deal. As it for me, I am not afraid of showing up. I'm not afraid of the people. I'm not afraid of the microphone, obviously. So I've gone to Tallahassee. I've done the, partners in policy making. I've talked to the representatives, both local and state. I've done that, right? But we need more. We need more people to rally together that have similar needs. We might not all have the same exact needs, but we all have similar needs. We need to come together to make noise. And it is not until we make the noise for change that we will see the change, right? So that's a little snippet on the election. And then we go into, I touched on it just a little bit, the Social Security customer service crisis. What? The Social Security customer service crisis. That is a huge, huge crisis because technically there is no customer service, both on the phone and physical when you go in, if you can even go in anymore, to meet with a Social Security counselor. It's literally a crisis. Like it's literally a crisis. Again, nobody talks about this. You don't see it in mainstream media. At least I haven't. And so it needs to be talked upon because at the end of the day, people with disabilities make a huge number, make a huge group in society, in community. And so that's why it's important for these topics to be talked about. So the Social Security Administration, the budget has been cut by 20%, over 9%. So it's been cut by 20%, and over 9% now making up less than 1% of benefits paid to the people with disabilities. And there's a lot of people with disabilities, again, that do not get their services or their benefits, that are not being paid, that are not being given their back pay. That's a huge one. Well, why should they be given back pay? Because they earned it. Because something happened. I remember for me, they were taking away money from me because my parents made too much money once upon a time. Well, I'm an adult now. That's not my problem. You guys messed up on that, with them. That has nothing to do with me. So I had to advocate for me to be able to get the benefits that are due to me because I was born with my disability. Right? So advocacy, guys, if nothing else, teach your kids, yourselves, your young ones, your teenagers, to advocate for themselves. And the best way to advocate for yourself is to be knowledgeable on all of these topics that we're talking about, and embracing why you need to know these things, your disability and all of that, and be knowledgeable of your who, what, when, where, why of your needs and your disability, and be your best self advocate. So that's a little bit about the Social Security, and the consequence is that 1.1 million, 1.1 million, not one or two, not 10, 1.1 million initial disability claims are still currently pending. That's a lot. I don't know how much that is, but that's a lot. And they're currently pending because there's a shortage of staff. People don't want to work for whatever it is that they get paid in the Social Security Administration. We're not answering the phone calls. We are not providing adequate service. We're slacking. We're slacking in our customer service. We're slacking in the services that we provide, literally the actual service that we provide to the individuals with disabilities. There's just so much going on. I can tell you that I have sat with my clients. It's been a little while, but I have sat with my clients in the Social Security Administration as their advocate. And I have had counselors that want to kick me out. You don't need to be here. They can advocate for themselves. Like, you can go wait outside. Or you can't sit there. That was my favorite one. You can't sit there. You have to let the client sit there. Or you can go wait outside in the waiting room. And it was an elderly couple. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. I will stand right here as long as I need to make sure that my client gets the services that they need. They're Spanish speakers, so I will be here to translate anything that they might not understand. And I stood there for a complete hour. I have a cane. I'm not supposed to stand for a whole hour, but I did. I get like an adrenaline, and I like, I don't think about it. And I stood there for an entire hour. They were helped, and I was happy. So sometimes the system is against us. Sometimes the system is against us. And you wonder, like, do these people really want to help? Do they really want to provide a service? And so that's the importance of having a voice, and of letting somebody be your voice. If you feel like your voice is not strong enough, find an advocate, find somebody that will help you speak up for yourself, find someone that will teach you to speak up for yourselves. I have a client that I do life coaching with, which is one of my favorite things. I never thought I would do that. And living life with a disability. And that's what we're working on, is being your own voice. It sounds easy, right? Like being your own voice, or have your own voice. But how do you do that? Again, you have to know your needs. You have to know your disability. You have to know community services, all of that, all of what we're talking about. And once we do that, I feel like everything gets a little bit lighter. The burden or the difficulties, the should have, would have, could have, all of that becomes a little lighter. So I always say, don't do life alone, right? Don't do life alone, and everything just gets just a tad easier to bear. Sister Mina, good evening. Thank you for joining.
Centro de todo eres Jesús. El centro de todo eres Jesús. Desde el principio y hasta el fin, tú has sido y siempre serás Cristo. Oh, Cristo.
El centro de todo eres Jesús. El centro de todo eres Jesús.
Desde el principio y hasta el fin, tú has sido y siempre serás Cristo. Oh, Cristo, tú eres el centro. Nada importa más que tú. Oh, todo el universo gira en pos de ti, Jesús. En ti, Jesús. El centro eres solo tú. El centro de mi vida sé Jesús. El centro de mi vida. Oh, desde el principio y hasta el fin, tú has sido y siempre serás Cristo. Oh, Cristo, Cristo, tú eres el centro. Nada importa más que
sé Jesús. El centro de tu iglesia sé Jesús. Cada rodilla se doblará y toda lengua te confesará. Cristo, oh Cristo, Cristo.
Jesus in the center of it all. Cristo en el centro de mi corazón. This is all about him. As I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the song, to the lyrics, I can't help but say thank you, Lord, because what it could take me a lifetime to do, he can do in a moment. He has. He has. Not that he could, he has. And I'm so grateful. And I think that when we put him in the center, when we believe, when we have faith, we pray, we're consistent to the best of our ability, and we're strengthened in him, he makes all things possible. I have worked so hard for things that literally have happened in a moment. And I'm grateful. And all of that is consistency, is never giving up, because I could have given up a long time ago, but God's like, no, you've come too far, and I haven't come to this far to only come this far. I have a long way to go. And so do you. So when you feel discouraged, know that it's possible. If it's possible for me, if God can do it for me, he can do it for you. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for where I am in life right now. I'm grateful for the opportunities. I'm grateful that through the bad, the ugly, the good, I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm excited for what is to come. So we're talking about the 5 disability-related stories. You know, we don't think about, as it pertains to journalism and what they don't cover, what journalists don't cover. It's not easy. I'm sitting here, I'm listening to the song, and I'm thinking about life, and I'm like, it's not easy. If it's not easy for someone that doesn't have a noticeable disability, imagine how much harder it is for someone that has extra needs and extra challenges, and the emotional aspect of living life, period, everyday life. And in addition to that, you know, the hard times, the struggles of living with a disability, the rejections, the denials, the having to work twice as hard, if not 3 times as hard, to get one thing approved or done. It's hard, guys. It's hard. And if it wasn't for God's strength and for my upbringing and my support system and my community, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. And so that got me. That got me. That really, really got me. So appreciate what you got. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate what you can do. Appreciate appreciate it, because it could be gone in a heartbeat, and your life can change in a heartbeat. So as we continue with the disability stories that journalists should be covering, of course, testimonials is huge, because with testimonials others can learn, right? And the next one would be AI, the famous artificial intelligence, AI in education. Everybody learns differently. Everybody learns differently. Everybody does things differently based on their disability, right? Or not, disability or not. But in this case, people with disabilities do things differently. They grasp things differently. They see things differently. I say they, like I'm not one of them. We see things differently. Mr. Stanley, thank you for joining. And so AI has really opened doors to accessibility in education specifically. I mean, imagine you have to write these papers, but you have this dyslexia, writing papers, or something that includes different stages or different processes, and maybe processing is not your thing, different steps. I haven't used AI much, but writing, for people that are planning on writing a book, we might use AI for some help. So the AI can be used for so many things, right? And so that's one of the things that we don't talk about, as far as how does AI, or how can AI help individuals with disabilities be more successful in specific areas of life, such as education, college, even employment, and what we can do to further include AI in those different things, right? I do not advocate for using it because we just want to get it done faster, or because we're lazy and we don't want to do the research. No, absolutely not. If you can do the research, and if you can write, and if you can do all those things on your own, by all means do it. But there are people that do need the extra assistance, because they literally, physically, or anything else cannot do it for themselves. So using these resources like AI is definitely helpful. I remember way back in the day, we had homework help, and we used to call a phone number that would help us with the math homework. I used that. I took that, I took advantage of that for sure, because math has never been my thing. So if the resources are there, such as AI, why not use it to help people become more successful and become the best version of themselves? I think that's what we should do with all the resources that we are given in the world, like today, where technology is so big.
It's so unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me, and you call me out to pull me in. You tell me I can start again, and I don't need to keep on hiding. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so like you to keep pursuing. It's so like me to go astray. Ooh, but you guard my heart with your truth, the kind of love that's bulletproof. And I surrender to your kindness. Oh, I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I can't frightening. I'm fully known and loved by you.
Fully known and loved by you. If you've ever doubted whether or not you are loved because you're different, because you have this thing called a disability, you are loved. God loves you. You're loved. People love you. People love you more than you think. If you just allow them to, if you allow them in, if you allow them to help, if you allow them to give a resource, you're loved and you belong a part of this community. You belong in this thing called life that we live every single day. And so let's work to make it a more inclusive, unified, accepting world for everybody, because we all belong. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. Thank you. If it was your first time, thank you for joining. Awesome to always see familiar faces coming back to join me on Yes with Yessie, here with you on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on New Season Gospel FM. You can listen to New Season Gospel FM 24/7 via newseasonfm.com, newseasonfm.com. If you wonder, what is the ministry all about? Go on newseasonfm.com, visit our ministry, New Season WC, newseasonwc.com. And if you're wondering, who is this girl? Who is Jessie? Who is this person? So many of you call me and know me as Yeye. Yes with Yessie, just like the show. Yeswithyessie.com. Yeswithyessie.com. So thank you guys so much for joining. I want to invite you to continue to join again every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across social media. If you have not followed us, please follow New Season Gospel FM on YouTube. New Season Gospel FM on YouTube, and again across all social media platforms, and see what we are all about. If you are looking for a church home, New Season WC, newseasonwc.com, here on Sundays at 11 a.m. We are a non-denominational church where everyone is welcome. It's been my church home for a couple years, and so I invite you. I love it here. I invite you to come check it out with us. You don't want to miss it. So we're here on Sunday at 11 a.m. And for those of you that are watching that are wondering how you can support, ways to support are scrolling across the screen. You can do so via Zelle 954-536-1821, Cash App, $ New Season WC. Cash App is New Season WC. And PayPal is wordmusic47@hotmail.com. wordmusic47@hotmail.com, where you will be supporting the New Season ministry, not just locally, but around the world, literally around the world, which is an awesome place to be in. So don't miss out. Your support is greatly appreciated, and you don't want to miss it. So subscribe to our YouTube channel across all social media platforms. Let others know that we are here. And I'm going to play one last song for you guys before we got to say see you later. See you later until next Thursday for Yes with Yessie. But of course, we continue on our regular programmings along with our Sunday service throughout the week. So you don't want to miss that. So here we go before I say see you later. And I join you again, God's willing, next week on another episode of Yes with Yessie.
Fíjame en ti, mi corazón en ti, que cada respirar exalte tu majestad. Mis manos alzo a ti, me rindo todo a ti, ante tu grandeza, Dios, me quedo asombrado. Toda gloria
Fíjame en ti. Fix my eyes on you. Yes, fix my eyes on you, Lord, and all that you have for me. No distractions. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me tonight here on Yes with Yessie. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, please remember we are a listener-supported station. Your support is everything. Please remember Pastor Appreciation Month is coming up, so we are receiving your giving for our Pastor Appreciation celebration on the 27th of October here at New Season. So if you want more information on what that's all about and how to give, let us know. Just contact us how you best know how to, and we can guide you in that giving. Thank you again so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you again next Thursday on another episode of Yes with Yessie. Join the Pastor Steve show tomorrow morning. But first, prayer time with Pastor Henry at 6:30 a.m., followed by the Pastor Steve show, and then midday prayer again, going into our scheduled programmings and activities for the weekend. Have an amazing rest of your day, evening, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining me as always. Sister Mina, thank you so much. Avery, Brother Akil, Mr. Stanley, thank you. Angela, thank you so much. And everyone that I can't see, of course, Lauderhill TV, thank you so much for your support as always. And I will see you guys next time on another episode of Yes with Yessie.
I've been waiting for breakthrough. I've been praying for change. I know you work it out for good, but how long will it take? I've been asking for healing, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready for the miracle. God, let it be this time. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. God, you taught me to trust you. You show me how to believe. You're the author and the finisher of what you started me. So I'm not gonna doubt it. I'm gonna hold on to peace. 'Cause if I have you and nothing else, I still have everything. 'Cause if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. I'll count it joy when I am tested, 'cause you bring beauty from my pain. It's never wasted. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. Because I know the day is coming when you right all of the wrong. So I praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong, will stay strong. How can we mend a broken heart?
Are you facing a relationship crisis? Don't know what to do next? Call our family counseling office and get the help you need today. 954-533-8187. 954-533-8187.
Help me mend my